Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I want to dive in, and I actually want to start off with this tweet. So I included this tweet in a recent video, I'm pretty sure. But I want to include it in this video as well, because we are going to focus heavily on a lot of things happening around monetary policy, currencies, the reserve currency, things like that. So I said on Twitter, I strongly believe we are headed in the direction of a non-reserve currency global financial system. We will see CBDCs decentralize the global economy combined with retail use of government-issued stablecoins. My thought process is that CBDCs will be primarily for wholesale banks, while stablecoins will be retail-driven. Retail won't see/use CBDCs, which would be in our best interest. This will all be driven/connected by a private/public ledger technology. Interoperability will be crucial for this new system, but also bridge currencies will 100% be needed as well. The days of reserve currencies will be behind us, where nations will be responsible for their own currencies or economic life cycle. If the US wants to destroy their economy, they can, but other nations shouldn't suffer too. This new system will allow this to become a reality. I know we focus on the negative ideas around CBDCs and this new system heavily, but there could be a world where it's not so dystopian. CBDCs are inevitable, but this new system can have CBDCs, stablecoins, and digital currencies coexist. Projects I personally have been hyper-focused on while the elites are running trials/experiments to bring about this systemic change are the following, and I do outline all of them. Now, as we do look at this, right, the BRICS are the heavy focus right now. Everyone is focused on what the BRICS are doing. As we look at the BRICS right now, 5 new countries are looking to join the BRICS alliance in August. This got posted back on June 30th by Matthew Lin Y over on Twitter. But you see those 5 countries are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Egypt, and Indonesia. They are likely to be admitted as well. As we look at these 5, and as we do look at what the BRICS are doing, they have been expanding rapidly. The biggest thing that I see is a lot of people kind of having this misconception around the BRICS. I've talked about it in many videos before as well, that any nation, any individual can utilize XRP. Are they using XRP today? We don't know, right? We can only come to our own assumptions around that and speculate as well. As we look at XRP, the best thing that I've said in the past around XRP and this new system is the fact that this will be fully decentralized, right? The reason why I believe XRP and a lot of these other tokens, like even XLM, are extremely powerful and extremely bullish for the long term is because they are decentralized. A lot of people look at XRP and they think that it's centralized. They think that Ripple is in control of XRP and, blah, 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 all that kind of nonsense. It's not the case. As we look at XRP, the reason why I'm so bullish on XRP as a bridge currency and as an asset to be utilized between CBDCs, stablecoins, or anything of value is because of its qualities. Anyone can use XRP today, tomorrow, next week, next year. It is decentralized. Nobody can control it. Nobody can put sanctions on it. See, the big thing about the BRICS is that this has been their goal forever, right? To move away from the US dollar and SWIFT, going all the way back to 2019. And even before that, this has always been their goal, right? All of these nations, they want to push back against the US dollar and also, the US itself, because again, they have been victims, if you will, of the US utilizing the US dollar as a financial weapon. As long as a country has a reserve currency standard, they can control all the other nations because, again, they are dominated by that currency. This is why, for the longest time, we have been seeing major pushbacks against the US dollar and even SWIFT, which is, again, dominated by the US dollar. So as we do look at this and we look at what the BRICS are announcing, they are announcing this new gold-backed currency at next month's summit, right? They plan on doing this. And like I said, a lot of these names tied to the BRICS and those that actually are looking to be, joining BRICS, they will most likely also be utilizing this currency or looking to have their own currencies as well. A lot of them are already trying to do this. But this is a 2-minute long video. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Listen closely to this video, and then I will talk to you guys a little bit more about what I believe is happening.
The BRICS group is set to introduce a new currency backed by gold, in contrast to the credit-backed US dollar, with countries lining up to join the growing initiative.
The BRICS countries are planning to introduce a new trading currency which will be backed by gold. More and more countries recently expressed desire to join BRICS.
The decision comes a month ahead of scheduled Alliance Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. 41 countries have since shown their interest in BRICS membership and its new currency implementation. Russia's foreign ministry has stated that if African states show enthusiasm, the group's expansion may also be on a Russia-Africa summit's agenda in the end of July. As of now, the BRICS group remains comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Former statistician general of South Africa, Pali Lehola, says the gold-backed currency will facilitate the advancement of developing countries.
Avoiding using the gold standard, we have gone for almost 45 years now, since 1980 when this was dropped. And we have seen the consequences, particularly of this to the developing countries, when the dollar was adopted as a standard and gold not as such. Yet against that, there's been accumulation of gold in the developing world. South Africa had a much stronger currency when the gold standard was still in force. By going the gold standard by many countries, that many African countries, of course, have, this will be of great benefit to strengthening the currency, the single currency that is backed by gold. It will facilitate development. Because after all, currency is the quantity of material things that societies have. If you use another currency based on material wealth or material things you don't have, it means that you are at the mercy of that country, and and they will charge commissions and the like.
So yeah, their plans are already in place. They are moving on this new gold-backed currency. The question is, how the hell are they going to settle it, right? Like, how are these payments going to be settled? How is this currency going to be settled? Well, again, the crucial thing is bridge currencies. I think that this move is interesting. I think that it is going to push things into motion around this new financial system. Again, all of this is catering to the CBDC push. We do see 130 countries move towards CBDC currency, US dollar in jeopardy. So yeah, everyone has been focused heavily on the US dollar as well. They think that it's done, it's finished, it's going to die out. I've seen so many headline articles about it. Again, I've talked about it. When we actually look at CBDCs, I don't think that they are going to dethrone the dollar because, again, a digital dollar is on its way. The US has plans to launch their own CBDC as well. Don't let media misguide you into believing that the US is just going to sit back and let this all fall into place. No, they're also going to retain, or at least try to retain, their presence. But the thing is that, guess what? They don't need to try to save the US dollar as a reserve currency because I think that they also see what's happening around this new system, right? With CBDCs, the US already has plans on a US CBDC. They are already introducing FedNow, which in my opinion is the infrastructure that will support a CBDC or at least accelerate that. Also, note that the US is actually in a very interesting position where they do have the choice and the option to utilize superior technology. I also think that a lot of plans are in place with the BIS, the IMF, the World Bank, these large organizations centered around the global initiative. And also, a lot of those major players are tied back to one player, which is, of course, Ripple. It's no coincidence that Ripple has launched this CBDC platform to help these major governments, institutions, etc., utilize CBDCs and stablecoins and issue out CBDCs and stablecoins. And we even do see like accelerate payments and reduce cost. They break this fully down. They've been doing this. They've been planning this forever. And of course, I believe that XRP will be a crucial piece of the puzzle, very similar to even if you go over to the cross-border payment space. And you scroll down, you see that XRP is perfectly positioned as that bridge currency. It's the main focus use case. But as we do scroll down in this article, there's a few things that are very interesting to note. And one of those major things is if we scroll a little bit down to the end, we do see cross-border CBDCs are what matter, not retail. People tend to view CBDCs through a retail lens, seeing them as a new digital payment units that citizens would use in daily purchases. That somewhat overhyped idea has fueled concerns about state surveillance of people's spending, to such an extent that opposition to CBDCs is now a campaign position of U.S. presidential candidates, including Republican hopeful Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Democrat challenger to President Biden, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Again, as we do look at this, right, like, I truly believe that CBDCs are not for retail. I've talked about this in the past, but even if they are, right, we should prepare and we should have our concerns. But I don't believe that they are, right? And the big thing is wholesale cross-border transactions and how we will settle them through, CBDCs. How can we settle cross-border payments with CBDCs, right? And a lot of people have been arguing that it's going to be Bitcoin, that's going to be this, that, which we all know is not the case. I've been talking about this forever. As we do look at the CBDC system, it could be very beneficial, but it could also be very problematic for a lot of people. Again, we don't know how this system is going to work entirely, but the way that I've outlined it over on Twitter is my belief, right? I believe that retail won't see or use CBDCs. It will more so be stable coins that we use, and the wholesale / banks will be utilizing these CBDCs. But what's crucial to this new system is, of course, interoperability, but also bridge currencies, because we need these things to be settled. How will we settle these things of value, or these different things of value? Because you'll have CBDCs, stable coins, tokenized assets. I mean, you will have so many things that will need to be able to be interoperable in a way of settlement, not interoperable in a way of connecting, but settlement. And the only way, in my opinion, is by utilizing tokens like XRP or even XLM. A lot of people have been asking me, like, Nick, is there other tokens that have the same use case? And yes, there is, right? You have other assets like XLM that could do this, but the problem is that it lacks the 10-year plus experience that Ripple has had in this game of building connections, networking with some of the largest names out there. And we already know from recent documents and even past documents going back 3, 4, 5 years ago that Ripple has been a part of major discussions on economic policy, especially global initiatives around adopting this new type of technology. So as we look at the connections that Ripple has already made, especially in the last decade, and the experience here, especially utilizing blockchain technology in XRP and the XRP ledger, with some major names as well. There's been trials with Bank of England and so many other major banks. And the recent partnerships as well really kind of solidify, in my opinion, Ripple in this space. And I do believe that XRP will play a vital role. And I even think today more than ever, XRP and the XRP ledger could be utilized for cross-border payments, cross-border trade, settlement, you name it. And who knows, right? If it's already being utilized. A lot of people have speculated that it already is with BRICS. But to me personally, I think that the future is very bright around the space nonetheless. I do think that CBDCs, yes, it could look dystopian, but it could also not look dystopian. It's however you want to look at this. I've talked about the good and the bad. I've also addressed, the plans and how we can be a part of that and how we could benefit greatly from it. In my opinion, this is happening. It's inevitable. And I've said it many times that this is inevitable. They are pushing heavily for this. Almost every single major nation and country out there is pushing towards a CBDC. This has been a long-term plan. These plans have been in place. Like I said, do I think that the US dollar is doomed and it's going to zero and that the US is in a very tough spot? No. I think that that's what the mainstream media wants you to believe. But as we do look at documents, we know that the US is very well a part of this massive plan. We know that things are getting pushed through. We know regulations are in place. We already know that the initiative around utilizing crypto and blockchain technology around the payment sector has been a goal of theirs for a while. They see the benefits of it. They still need those guardrails in place in terms of regulations, and that will happen. And once that does, really happen and go live, and the space gets wiped out in terms of all the garbage, what's left will be the crucial pieces of the puzzle for the global financial system. And I do believe, like I said, XRP is a part of that, especially all these other tokens like QNT or XLM or XDC, you name it, right? So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, so notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. It's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.